Welcome to the ECE Classroom podcast with your host, SusieBeghin, inspiring early childhood educators every day. Welcome to the ECE Classroom, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of early childhood education, parenting tips, and creative learning strategies. I'm your host, SusieBeghin, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the busiest and most exciting, and sometimes, yes, the most overwhelming times of the year. It's September and it's back to school in a daycare environment. If you're an educator, a supervisor, an administrator, or any part of a childcare team, you know that September can feel like a marathon. New children, new routines, lots of emotions for both kids and for teachers. So in this episode, I'll share some practical strategies to make the transition to daycare smoother. So let's get started. We all know that September is one of the busiest months of the year, especially for childcare. We have a lot of changes happening in the childcare environment. New students, old students have left. So preparation is really key. It's going to be your best friend. Here's a few tips and tricks in regards to planning and preparing your classroom environment. The first thing you need to remember is that preparation will help you to keep things running smoothly. You want to plan ahead and ensure that you come to the classroom every day prepared with your activities and your materials that you're going to need for that day. You don't want to be scrambling at the last minute, especially during a busy month like September, when you're going to be dealing with a lot of other issues as well. So being prepared is really important. I know that for me, preparation helps me to reduce my stress. When I feel prepared and ready for something, that helps to reduce my stress level. So that's step one, is to make sure that you feel prepared. I recommend that you really try to mentally prepare yourself by going into work a few minutes early every day. It helps you just to prepare yourself mentally for your day and start your day without feeling like you're in a rush. So let's talk about transitions. We know that transitions are a difficult time normally, but at the beginning of the year, they can be especially difficult. So at the beginning of the school year, it's really important to set expectations. New children are learning how to manage in a new group setting. Routines and transitions are new to them. So keep things simple. For example, during a routine like tidy up time, you're going to use the same songs, the same visual cues, and you're going to be doing that in a consistent way. So you're going to give warnings at maybe the 10-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute mark. You're going to show a visual cue that it's time to tidy up, and maybe you're going to sing a song as well. All of these strategies will help the child to adjust to the new routine and adjust to changes in the routine throughout the day. The next important thing regarding planning is team communication. We all know that you can't run a classroom by yourself. It needs to happen as a team. So meet with your team beforehand, ideally before the school year starts. But if you haven't done that, then use the next opportunity in September to meet as a team to discuss your roles, assign roles for all of your different responsibilities, so you're never left guessing who's going to do what in the classroom. Sometimes it can be overwhelming if one person is carrying the load in the classroom. So let's try to split it evenly. Let's figure out what are all the responsibilities and split them up between all the members of the classroom. When we do this, everyone benefits. I also really like to use a communication book. A communication book is a book that you use to communicate between teachers and administrators in the classroom. It's a place where you're going to write notes, like what parents told you at drop-off time, or maybe something they told you at pickup time, or maybe a message they sent through your communication app. You're going to write down notes that every teacher needs to be aware of. It's a great way for everybody to be on the same page and know the same information. Because sometimes when you don't have all the information, that's what can create stress. So just keeping the communication open by having something like a communication book helps all your team members feel updated on any parent communication, any policies, and anything that everyone in the classroom needs to know. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is creating a calm space for overwhelmed students. We all know that the environment can heavily contribute to children's dysregulation. So in those first few weeks, I know that it can be very intense. There's lots of big emotions, especially separation anxiety. And here's how we can help children regulate by creating a calm space. So first, let's think about a calm or a cozy corner. Designate a spot in your classroom where you can have things like soft cushions, sensory bottles, or fidget tools where children can go when they're feeling overwhelmed. Calm corners are not timeout spaces. It's really important that we introduce the calm corner as a safe haven for children. It's a place where children can go to take a break and regroup. Think cozy cushions, bean bags, books, plants, fairy lights, natural features. If you could have a water fountain, that would be wonderful. Or even a small tent. All of these things help the environment to feel calm. Then you can add materials like calming tools, things like sensory bottles, stress balls, sensory bags, soft toys. These things are key to making the space feel inviting, not isolating. When children feel overstimulated, this space can give them the control over the emotions they need and a way to return when they're ready. Remember to model how to use the space. Again, we don't want it to be an isolating space or a place to go when you're having negative emotions. It's not a punishment space. It really is something that you need to model. You can say something like, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed right now. I need to go take a few deep breaths in the calm corner. Use it as a calm and inviting space where children will want to go to manage their emotions. The next thing you can do to create a calm space is use visuals in your environment. You can post visual schedules so children can see what's coming next. This reduces uncertainty and anxiety. Young children often need time to adjust to new routines, and they thrive on predictability. And visual schedules give them just that. You put them at their eye level so that they can see them, and it helps them to understand what's happening now and what's going to happen next. Use simple pictures for your transitions, things like snack time, lunchtime, washroom time, playtime, nap time, and outdoor time. These are usually the transition moments of the day. Have a picture for each one, laminate it, and attach it to Velcro on the wall so that you can adjust it and use it and show the child when needed. In my centers, we put them on a binder clip and on a ring, and we hang it on the wall so that we can take it up and down and use it as needed. Children need to be able to use the cards as well. So encourage them, have them at their level so that they can use the cards. It all helps to give children a sense of ownership of what's happening in the classroom. This all helps to reduce anxiety, builds their independence, and it cuts down on what are we doing now and why questions. The next thing you can do is create visuals and put them on a teacher lanyard around your neck. These are mini pictures of certain things like walking feet or parts of your schedule. And you're going to have that and wear it so that you can guide children in any part of that transition, wherever you are, whether you're outside, in the hallway, or in the washroom, you'll have those pictures handy so that you can use them wherever you are. When a child feels unsure, you can kneel down close to them and show them. Say, see, right now we're cleaning up, and then we're going outside. It's portable, it's consistent, and it provides immediate reassurance for children. You don't have to worry about going to that spot on the wall where you have your visual schedule. You have it with you at all times. And it's especially powerful for children who are new to the routine. You can use these kinds of visuals often to help them with their separation anxiety and help them when they need reminders throughout the day. Of course, a calm environment requires compassion, consistency, and communication. These 3 C's are the foundation for early learning in September. Consistency. You need to keep routines consistent and predictable. Try to follow your schedule as best as possible and always follow through on what you say. That helps to build the expectations for children and the consistency in your approach. Communication is critical. Explain the changes that are happening. Explain the transitions in simple terms before they happen. And finally, compassion. Remember, it's not just the children adjusting. Parents and other teachers are adjusting to the new situation as well. A compassionate tone, a gentle reassurance, and empathy go a really long way in helping to build trust and a good team environment. You can say something like, I can see you're missing mom. That's okay. She'll be back after lunch. And right now, we're going to read a story together. Can you pick a story? It's important to be specific when you tell children that their parents are returning. If you just say, mom's coming back, and don't give any specifics, it's really hard for them to believe you. So I would really recommend that you be specific. Your parent will be back after nap time, after snack time. Give them a marker or a cue that they can look out for and make sure that it's realistic. If you're saying that the parent will be back after snack time, then you need to follow through on that promise and it needs to happen. So make sure that when you're being specific, you're also being realistic. And finally, a great way to create a calm environment is to model emotional regulation yourself. Children learn how to manage their big emotions by watching us. Show them some calm breathing techniques when they're calm and teach them deep breathing that they can use when they feel dysregulated. You can blow bubbles together, pretend to smell a flower, or blow out a candle. These are all ways to teach deep breathing. Also, label your feelings out loud. You can label your own feelings and model it for them. You can say things like, I'm feeling frustrated right now and I need to take a deep breath, and then do so. This helps to normalize negative emotions and shows kids that they're manageable. Most importantly, reassure children that missing home or feeling sad is normal. It's okay to miss mom or dad. They always come back. That helps to build that trust and that connection and helps children feel safe in expressing themselves and their emotions. And remember, building capacity for regulation starts with empathy. Together, all of these strategies can create a calm environment where children feel safe, seen, and supported, which is exactly what they need in those first few overwhelming weeks of September. So we've talked a little bit about children. Now let's switch gears and talk about parents. Parents are also adjusting in those first few weeks of September. And transparent communication will help us to build trust with parents. And it's really important to do that. So let's start right at the very beginning. Before they even start, ensure that you send them a welcome message to welcome them to your center. Give them a package of information, like a parent handbook, which explains all of your policies. and let them become familiar with daycare rules and regulations and who to contact when they have questions. Let parents know when and how they can connect with both management and with teachers if they have concerns or just want to check in on their child. Once you've done that, now it's time to start building that relationship. So even a quick message or a photo every day reassures families that their child is safe, learning, and adjusting. In those first few weeks, all that parents really care about is that their child is safe and that their child is happy. I recommend sending parents a few messages every day in the beginning to reassure them that the child is doing well. Even if that child is crying for most of the day, try to find something positive to say, something that you can tell them about. It will go a long way to reassuring them that their child is doing okay. Keep the communication consistent as well. Don't just send 5 messages one day and nothing the next day. Keep it consistent. If you're going to send 2 messages a day, then try to keep it at 2 messages a day. Send regular updates to parents so they know what is happening throughout the child's day. A lot of communication apps out there now are great for this. You can post washroom, eating, and activity photos and show parents exactly what their child is doing to help them feel secure. Be available also at drop-off and pickup times. I know that it's difficult when you have a room full of children, but in September, it's really important to talk to parents about their children. These are the times of the day when you will build connection with the parents, and that will go a long way throughout your school year. When families feel informed, they feel confident leaving their child in your care, and that's what it's all about. So we've talked about creating that calm environment, we've talked about the planning, and we've talked about parents. But now let's address the elephant in the room, teachers. We all know that September isn't just tough for kids. It's tough on us as educators too. We have new faces to deal with. We have sometimes high needs. We have paperwork. None of it goes away. And sometimes those days can feel long. And this sometimes can lead to burnout, especially in the month of September. So here's some things you can do to help you to manage. First thing is, try to take micro breaks. Micro breaks can just be even 30 seconds or 1 minute. Step away from a difficult situation and take a deep breath, even if it's just for 10 seconds. Step outside when you're going for outdoor play, for some fresh air. Stretch your body, move your body. We all know that physical activity is good for your brain. It helps you to regulate. So engage in physical activity with your children. It's going to help you to de-stress too. Not to mention, it's great to engage with children outside. But just remember, whenever you're feeling dysregulated, take a few deep breaths. Often, 4 deep breaths is all it takes to help your body feel calm again when you do get overwhelmed. The next thing you want to do is set realistic expectations for yourself. Don't try to implement every new idea because it's September in that first week or even in the second week. Pace yourself. Start small and implement something new slowly, one thing at a time. Children will also get overwhelmed if you try to do too much too soon. So take it slow, introduce them to the basics first, and then in October, you can increase the intensity. Manage your own expectations of students as well. Remind yourself that you have no control over their emotions. You cannot control children's emotions. They will feel their emotions, whether it's separation anxiety or just simple dysregulation. Your job is you are there to help them identify their emotions and then support them in managing those emotions through self-regulation and supporting their emotional well-being. So a lot of times us as teachers, we do take responsibility for children's emotions. but we can't put that burden on our shoulders. They are responsible for their emotions. We are there to help them through it. Another thing you can do is check in with your team on a regular basis, either at the start of the day or end of the day or at lunchtime. Do a 2-minute check-in with your team just to see how everybody's doing. Ask them about their wins, their frustrations. Build that camaraderie with your team by sharing your frustrations and your wins and working together to help overcome any potential issues together as a team. And most importantly, remember to be self-compassionate. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of your own personal mental health and prioritize rest and hydration for yourself as well. Now, if you want more ideas on managing stress for yourself, check out my very first episode in season 1, where I talk about educator empowerment and engagement. And we talk about how to avoid burnout and deal with emotional dysregulation or feelings of stress. I even talk about a self-regulation technique called FACE, F-A-C-E. Check out that episode. It's a very powerful technique that's helped me to feel grounded and really experience joy and reduce stress. So check that out if you need more help with your own self-regulation. Remember, we can't support children or parents if we don't support ourselves first. And finally, the last thing I want to talk about today is about relationships. Relationships in general, whether you have relationships with parents, with children, or with other educators or management, it's really important at the beginning of September to build strong, secure relationships that are going to work for you and help you to enjoy what you're doing every day for the next year. As for children, we know that they will feel safe and valued and adjust to your environment faster when you have a strong relationship with them. So here are some things you can do to build your relationship with the children. Number 1, personal greetings. Use each child's name warmly and enthusiastically at drop-off and pickup time. Be really excited and genuinely happy to see the children in the morning when they get dropped off. You can't underestimate the value of a warm greeting first thing in the morning. It really does contribute to that feeling of belonging for the child, especially at the beginning of the year when children may not have developed a relationship with you yet, and they really don't know you. And after you welcome that child into your classroom, make time to talk to them, to engage with them in an activity right away. It's really important for children who are dysregulated to have purpose when they enter the room and have somewhere and something to do right away. When a child is wandering around the classroom aimlessly, they're more likely to feel dysregulated and miss their parents. So it's really important to talk to them right away and get them involved in an activity or something going on in the classroom, whether it's reading a story, having some breakfast, or engaging in a play activity. It's really important to start something right away to distract them and redirect them into something positive. The next thing you're going to want to do is create some kind of a home to school connection. So incorporate things like familiar objects, songs, or even family photos into your classroom. This doesn't always work for all children, but it does for most children. Having something familiar in the classroom helps them to cope, and it starts to create that feeling of belonging in your classroom. One way to do that is to create a really inclusive environment. You can celebrate the diversity of your classroom by making sure that your classroom visuals represent all children. And I think the best way to do this is to actually ask the families for photos. Ask them for photos of themselves, their families doing various activities. Not just, the posed family photo, but maybe a family photo of them at the dinner table, or a family photo of them gathering together, watching a movie, or engaging in a birthday celebration. And post those photos around your classroom of all your children And that's the best way to ensure that you're reflecting the diversity of your classroom. And finally, and probably most importantly, take time to connect with each child individually, even if it's just 2 minutes of your undivided, focused attention. These are the moments when you will build real connection with that child, when you'll really get to know them and genuinely show them how interested you are and how happy you are that they are a part of your classroom. These little gestures, the warm greetings, the home connections, the inclusive environment, and those one-on-one moments, those are the things that are going to create the foundation for trust, for confidence, and for learning all year long. September doesn't have to feel like chaos. With intentional planning and preparation, calm spaces, strong parent communication, and compassion for children and for ourselves, we can create that smooth and positive start to the year. I really hope that today's episode gave you the practical strategies to carry into your classroom this month. If you found it helpful, please share this podcast with another educator who could use a little September support. Thanks for tuning in, and here's to a calm, confident, and connected start to the school year. Thanks for tuning in to the ECE Classroom with SusieBeghin. For more information, you can visit our website at www.SusieBeghin.com. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast so you can stay up to date on the latest episodes. Thanks for listening.